Hello everyone, Manthrow here, and welcome to the weekly OSRS update video. Now this week we have the blowpipe ammo changes and small fixes, along with a little bit of talking about the ongoing PvP changes. However, to start out, the toxic blowpipe, you can now swap different types of darts into the toxic blowpipe without having to first remove your current ammo to do so. Simply use the new ammunition on the blowpipe. In addition, if the toxic blowpipe is the only scale using item in your backpack, any scales you pick up will be automatically added to the blowpipe. As you've likely spotted, this by no means the last of poll number 73 changes. Never fear, they haven't forgotten about them, so check back next week for more of them. Also, there's a recent Teletab feedback. Last week changes were made to make the Wilderness teleport tabs consistent. As a consequence, another change players were highlighted, so they made the following change. Wilderness warnings have been re-added to the Revenant Teletabs. These can be toggled on and off by using the right-click long press configure option. As a result, the break option is now back on left-click tap. As for the Revenant Caves this week, there's a little bit going on because they were getting feedback, and then there's still going to be some adjustments possibly to come. However, unfortunately, they say they will not be moving forward with the roaming revenants. Reason being is because this was to emulate the PvP experience, so they're not going to really do that one. However, that does leave the second option of modifying the caves. And one thing with this is that they will be removing the multi-way combat in the caves and replacing it with a new system called Single Plus. What this entails is that if you are fighting an NPC, it's single way combat. However, if a PKer comes up to you and attacks you, you will then be given to the PKer. So PvP takes priority over NPC. This way people can't just hide amongst the revenants. This way PKers have a fair chance to be able to get into, and doing their PK duties. So lastly, they'll be rehoming on Slayer monsters in the Revenant Caves to a cave of their very own in an appropriate wilderness level south of Lawrence Chest and northwest of Venatus. This multi-way combat dungeon will be more spacious, which leaves options will open to expand the Wilderness Slayer task list in the future. So they thought a little bit ahead on that one. Vesta's Longsword. They'd also like to take this opportunity to discuss some of the other hot button PvP issues, including Vesta's Longsword. This powerful weapon was first introduced into Old School via Bounty Hunter April 2020. But since Bounty Hunter's removal, it's essentially been gathering dust on players' banks because it's only usable in target worlds. So they like to make Vesta's Longsword usable in all PvP worlds, but only during PvP combat. So at this time, they will not be enabling Vesta's Longsword in PvM combat. Such a change would significantly alter the existing meta, and they never meant to put PvM players in a situation where they feel they have to play PvP worlds to achieve maximum efficiency. They are happy to discuss this further on Reddit, Twitter, Discord, or the official forums. Blighted Items are another casualty of the Bounty Hunter removal, so they'd like to be able to make them in PvP worlds again. So they're still ironing out the details, but they might appear in limited areas everywhere at once or in stages. They're not sure yet. The first stage of introducing Blighted Items would be to make them available only in designated PvP hotspots, the same places where looting bag works. If proves acceptable, then they'd release them into the rest of the PvP worlds. But it does say no matter how they release the Blighted Items, they'll be making tweaks to the Last Man Standing store to ensure that they've hit the right balance between Blighted items flowing into the game economy. Mental Health Q&A on Discord to help celebrate the World Mental Health Day. They'll be hosting Mental Health Discord Q&A with their wonderful partner charities Rise Above the Disorder, the Princess Trust, and CPSL Mind. So join the Old School Discord server for the Mental Health Q&A this Thursday, October 8th, between 1700 and 1900 to chat with them and the partners and hear some tips on how to cope with just everything in general, but also with how things have been going for 2020 so far. Ron Plays Games is the content showcase. If you guys are unfamiliar with this was actually a big thing that happened in the last RuneFest. So they are basically going to be highlighting them. And to join in the fun, head to the stream this Tuesday, October 13th at 9 a.m. BST. In other news, mobile users will now see a warning offering to turn off the HUD when entering the Chambers of Zarek. Great Olm's healing special attack animation will no longer persist after healing is finished. It is no longer possible to have two concurrent sets of healing pools, one of which didn't work, in the Great Olm fight. Lunar Teleport tablets are now tradable on the Grand Exchange in preparation for Prime Plays. Last Man Standing event starting soon. The Last Man Standing Worlds 326, 333, 469, 492 will no longer be part of the Rota and will be open from now until the end of the event. They will return to regular Rota on November 11th. So that's actually it for this week, guys. So thank you guys so much for watching, and until next time, later, guys.